live and direct. What's happening? Yo, Taj, say hello.
Good evening, everybody, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are.
Around the world, trust me, today's a late episode because, in the famous words of Aich, life is busy. You get me?
You get me?
Life is busy.
You get me, blood?
Do you get it? So we've been got to do a late one today, but hopefully, hopefully you're here. Hopefully you're locked in. Episode of today. What's it called? We're gonna find out in a second when I do the intro. Episode of today is called Dietary Damnation. Is our diet detrimental to the world? Is our diet detrimental to the economy? Is our diet detrimental to our own health? Is the diet detrimental to the environment? Find out today in a little bit. In this next hour. Taj, you excited? What do you think? What you saying?
I'm so excited. Also, we got a guest coming in today that's gonna give us some insight on his professionalism in regards to what he does. We're gonna tell you a little bit.
What's his name?
His name is OSU Coconut.
Big OSU Coconuts. Gonna come through and educate all of us as well. Should be lit, alive.
It should be good.
Should be crazy, bro. Should be
A couple
crazy.
weeks ago, we joined OSU in his world, and we chef
online on the iOS and Android, on your mobile phones. Great speakers conversation around the globe. This is Relaks Radio. Relaks Radio.
Wave at them. Wave at us.
Yeah. Thank you for guys coming on. I hope you enjoyed the show today.
If you're on Instagram live on this one, what's up? If you're looking at us through that camera, what's good? Hopefully everyone's okay. Yeah, before I even started the episode, actually, can't even lie. Someone's requested a shout out. So gotta show them some real big love.
Some real love.
So shout out Arslan, hey Stizzy, my younger brother.
Shout him out there.
Shout out Mumsy for making him and me as well. Shout out, you know what? We're here now. Shout out the whole family. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Shout out Officer Academy for introducing the real brothers. Shout out my Mumsy. Shout out my family. Shout out
all the Matthews on God, fam. Shout out all the Matthews. And yeah, shout out Academy, bro, for making this happen. You get it?
Trust me.
Awesome, real. But yeah, man. Today, bro, dietary damnation. We had a serious conversation about this. We've had many serious conversations about this. How is our diet destroying the world, fam?
Well,
madness, alive.
When you're thinking about when we actually go to toilet, right? I know it's a mad one to start. When we go to toilet,
it's a good example.
All of the waste, where does that go? If we think about it,
back into the earth, back into the world that we're destroying.
And is that helpful for our environment?
I mean, as fertile as it is, do you get it?
I mean,
the greenhouse gases we're causing by eating them processed meats, causing them type 2 cancer foods and that.
Yeah, but if it was more natural foods, I could understand that.
Yeah, 100%. We're seeing the biggest rise in illnesses, obesity, diabetes, all these things that are now proven to come from our diet. Do you get it? From dairy, from processed foods, from foods that we've been told for a long time that we should be eating, but we shouldn't be eating. It's crazy. You get it?
Very mad.
Fam, so I guess one point of reference that we're going to talk about a lot, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't seen it, well, two, should we say, Cowspiracy
and What the Health.
So we watched these. So before I even, I guess, talk about myself, Taj, I know you watched it. What did you think about them shows?
Well, it was very, it was interesting because it seemed, it was more than a documentary, because it seemed like what's his name? Sorry.
I can't even remember the guy who did it, but he made both of them, and he essentially just dug into the lies to them.
Yeah,
but I can't remember his name.
It was interesting.
Ashton, I think it was.
But it's very, in a sense, I wouldn't say dramatic, because whatever they were saying was very, the conversations was very serious, and the allegations that he was bringing up to them 100%. Was very crazy. But there was a sense of, this is a bit mad. It's a bit crazy.
The word is conspiracy, unfortunately, isn't it? Yeah, you get it, that's what it comes down to.
But in regards to the idea of, there's so many health organizations that set up to to supposedly help us, but in fact is being funded by the things that are causing the problems.
Do you get it? All for money, or for a capitalistic purpose, which is scary, because we watched the show. the people who was like, for example, in Cowspiracy, where he's trying to investigate how the food we eat, the meat we consume, is essentially destroying our environment, etc. How crazy was it that it was the leaders of in the biggest like rainforest protection organizations and environment like protection organizations that were actually not telling us what the biggest factor for climate change or for
Mm-hmm.
like environmental degradation is. Do you get it? It's kind of crazy. So like I guess the reason why we got to do this episode is because it's another conspiracy. Do you get it? It's a
Right.
like if we look at what the word conspiracy is, it's literally a group of people planning to do something. Do you get it? Or in the actual definition is to do something unlawful or harmful. But I would say that that's just providing a negative connotation. If you're planning to do something behind another group of people's like I guess consciousness, that's a conspiracy. You're conspiring to do something.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
have to be negative, but it's a negative thing
Yeah, it
now.
has a
Do
negative
you get it?
connotation behind
Connotation.
it. Mm.
So it's like now that we're here, why are the anti cancer society and the biggest cancer research organizations promoting foods that are carcinogens, that are cancerous? Like I'm spun. Do you get it? Like and it's not a new thing because we've been spun, but
Yeah, that was on What the Health, wasn't it?
yeah.
Um, and what was it on? Was it on their websites they were recommending certain foods? What was the foods?
So foods like salami, foods like processed meats, eggs, dairy, foods that like studies by the United Nations, by the World Health Organizations have proven and shown that actually these things are linked to cancer in the body or to autoimmune diseases. And
Mm.
of course, you can't just say because like correlation doesn't mean cause. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So just
Yes.
because there's correlation, we can't say yeah, everyone's eating this. That means that they have this, but the science is suggesting that. Do you get it? And who are we to reject what academia is saying or research is saying?
So how can we see, like, because from every generation, yeah, we get into a new path of knowing what is good and what is bad in
Yeah,
regards
yeah,
to
yeah.
food. But
Yeah.
when is it gonna become clear? When do you think that's gonna become clear?
I think now, like for example, obviously we're in a post-colonial time. Do you get it? So if you go before, like, when before the empire, so before the European man enslaved and colonized, like the not the third world, sorry, but the sub southern hemisphere, should I say? When all that happened, the diets changed. You get it? The way nutrition was made was changed. Like things got industrialized, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think that happened then, and then we had this burst of capitalism and industrialization, and like now we're at the point where you can go and buy a kebab in Iceland for £1. You get all these cheap meals for £1.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm
yeah.
trying to say? And where I look at it as again, it's another conspiracy is that, which maybe you agree with me, the healthy food is expensive.
The health food is a joke. I was gonna, when you brought up the kebab thing, I was gonna mention that it's unrealistic because we're meant to want these things, to desire these things, but there's so much money in comparison to like a pack of grapes will be £2 or £3 something, £2
That's not even
something.
the organic ones. That's just the normal ones. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like you said, those are £2. But then you can go to Iceland, and someone who's very, very poor and having to just like feed 4 kids is not going to spend £3 on or go to Waitrose and eat nice and healthily. They're going to go to Iceland and get whatever they can afford. So, what that's saying is that societally, people are being pushed, or should I say, people of like not working class, but the poorer people in society are being pushed to eat unhealthily.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way it's going.
It is.
You
Yeah,
get it?
we don't necessarily have an option, to say the least.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like everyone, I'm sure everyone would love to like go shopping in like on the organic supermarket. You get it?
Bro, like, and being, having watched like, having watched these shows and done my research, my
Yeah.
research, I've been more conscious. I've had conversations about prior to even like deciding to do this part of the show, and it's made me feel some type of way. So when I'm shopping, I'm actively trying to be like, have a healthy option.
100%.
But I'm even shopping in Lidl. I always shop in Lidl.
We've been
but
shopping in
yeah,
Lidl
been shopping in Lidl.
before it became, you know what I'm trying to say.
You
Before
know,
that,
it held me down in university and still holding me down. But still, when
Come on.
I went shopping for the healthy alternatives, and
Yeah.
like trying to find like different types of milks to use, because I'm an oat milk person. We had this
Yeah, you
discussion.
did your own milk.
I'm an oat milk man.
I can only do literally like almond milk. sweetened. I get it. It's messing me. And even then, I'm sorry. I'm fake. I actually do drink normal milk. You get it? I'll be real,
bro. What has Cowspiracy been telling you,
bro?
Sorry, I shouldn't be shouting at you guys. It's him I should be shouting.
Bro, it's expensive. It costs a lot of money, man. Do you get it? Milk in the corner shop, £1.49 for a big 4 pints.
But
the little organic almond milk, bro, it's like $2.19 or whatever.
Yeah,
bro, I can't afford
because I'm
that
used to
all the
shopping
time.
in Lidl. It's kind of cheaper in there,
Okay.
like 90p or something like that. When you go anywhere else and you're looking at like oat milk or something else, at £2.99 or something, like it's a luxury item. I'm thinking,
that's what I'm saying, bro. So...
But going back to the cow, the cow milk. The idea of you drinking cow milk, think about it like this, bro. It's for the baby calves. Are you a baby calf?
I'm not, bro. I don't know, man.
Are you? What do you mean? I don't know.
I'm joking.
I don't know, man.
No, bro, like, I say it to myself, bro. Like, I shouldn't really be invested. Like, do you get it?
But it's when you fully get involved on the alternative milks thing, you start to like the normal milk don't taste the same. Like when you have it again, like when you fully not invest, but engulf yourself in it. When you're tasting it, like, well, personally, from my experience, I had like. I don't know, maybe it was like a milk drink or like a milkshake or something. Yeah. I felt like I tasted like a layer of fat. You see, like when you heat up milk and then you have that layer. Without heating it up, I thought, like, I'm feeling that. I'm thinking, nah, this is too much. It's too much.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know, that might come down to the fact that, like, when I know you watch Conspiracy, when you saw there's that guy talking about how in America, I think it was 73% of African Americans are lactose intolerant, 95% of Asians are lactose intolerant, and then a high percentage of Hispanics and Native Americans are also lactose intolerant. But then the government subsidizes the dairy industry on a mad one. Do you get it? They finance them. They push for that to be sold. Do you get it? So I'm not even trying to say, they're trying to kill us, but they're trying to kill us. I'll be real. That's the only way I can see it. Like, as the government, you have a moral, I guess. Yes, bro. We've been interrupted by an amazing guest who was coming on the show, but he's gonna come on now anyway after the break. But continuing to what I was saying, what was I talking about?
We're talking about the cow milk.
Yeah. So the cow milk.
Was he talking about the cow milk? Oh no, they're trying to kill us.
Yeah, they're trying to kill us, and it comes down to the fact that if the government has a moral duty to keep us healthy and alive and healthy and a prosperous life, subsidizing industries that are harmful to us, which maybe even though the science come out just now, so they didn't know that first, they should counteract that. They're just how they're banning production of tobacco, etc. They should be doing that of milk or limiting that. But
it's true.
We gotta have our first break. I'm not even gonna lie. So my peoples, we're official now.
Just before, I just wanna obviously because we wanna keep it interactive, you know. I just wanna update you on what the people have been saying on the live. We got the Instagram live going, guys. So the people that's tuning in on Facebook,
love you, appreciate it.
Costco Cravendale milk is the best milk. Is that cow milk?
No, I lie, I know about Cravendale still.
I don't even
in the corner shop. It's a normal thing. I know about that. It's good quality. I can't even lie.
Is that cow milk?
Yeah. Normal, it's like normal thing.
Wow.
It's like a bit more expensive than the normal like Cotswold.
We're talking about Cowspiracy and they're promoting cow milk.
No, I'm just agreeing. Yeah, I'm not even. Listen, I'm neutral in it. I'm neutral in it.
Almond milk to almond milk. Oat milk to that.
What else are they saying on the live?
They're just greeting everyone, just pulling up now. It's nice to see. McLeon is taking.
They can stay on the live anyways. Come,
yeah, they can
stay here. Even though we'll do a break on the official thing, we'll still be here on the Instagram live. You'll be plugged in. Don't worry. You get that exclusive. If you really think about it. But yeah, lads, going into the break. So here we go.
Relaks Radio.
Hope you're enjoying the discussion so far.
Whoa, Relaks Radio. আপনি হয়তোবা জানেন না যে রেডিও অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট ইজ 4 times more powerful than any other media. রিল্যাক্স রেডিওতে যদি অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করতে চান তাহলে আমাদেরকে আজই যোগাযোগ করুন on 020-7474-9292. আমাদের সাথে অ্যাডভার্টাইজ করুন from £99 a month. Increase your business by advertising on Relax Radio.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, yeah. there 24 hours. Let the happiness come to you on Relaks Radio. Tune in to Relaks Radio.
It has been too long. No one has taken the initiative to know who you are and what you do. Well, Relaks proudly presents Relaks Media to unite and expose all media-related personalities under one umbrella. If you are an artist or maybe you're looking for one, look no further. Log on to www.relaksmedia.com, RELAKS media.com. In return, you get a free webpage and exposure to wider fan appreciation and contacts. Also, optional personal manager. Don't delay.
Relaks Radio.
All back, all three of us now. Yo, back from the break. Hope everyone's okay. Hope you didn't miss us too much in that. Do you know what I mean?
It's a long break and that. Sorry.
2 whole minutes and our presence was felt. But with no further ado, shout out to the man himself. The revolution will not be pasteurized. Mr. OSU Coconuts. Ben, hello, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. How you doing, bro?
We're great, thank you. Even better now that you're here. It's lit. It was hard to make it happen, but we made it happen. Not too hard, to be fair. I mean,
I just literally finished my last delivery and I came straight down here. So,
you've been active all day?
Yeah, man, from the morning.
Okay.
Grinding, bro. Grinding. We ready, fam.
Love to see it. And look, and you're here now. What time? Quarter to 10. And
I'm saying, bro.
I think that's the thing, man. Your word is your bond, man. I think if you say you're gonna do something, I feel if I say I'm gonna do something and it doesn't materialize, it will be in my mind every day.
I hear that. Building up.
Just eating away at me, you know.
Yeah,
so
100%, man.
You know, and it's also, I think it's a good cause, and I think definitely we'll be talking about some interesting stuff today for sure.
100%, man. So I guess I gotta tell the people before you get into it. OSU Coconuts is a brand that's been, am I right saying 7 years now in the making?
Probably, yeah. Well, I suppose like we've been operating for, between 6.5. I lose track now, but it's about 6.5 years, I reckon. Or 6.5 years.
Okay, that's still a long time, a very long time. So I'm just gonna ask you because there's no point me talking about it. You get it? So tell us what is OSU Coconuts? Tell the people why they should. Well, actually, no. Let me give them a little context first. So OSU Coconuts has been a store for a very long time all over London where they've been selling natural, healthy, am I right in saying vegan food?
Yeah, so the whole premise of everything we do, and I've explained this before in a video, and it's basically food that gives you a break from all of the stuff, like the bad, the negative stuff out there.
Perfect.
So it's not specific to it just happens to be vegan, it happens to be gluten free.
Just falls in those brackets.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't go out there with, you know, that kind of aspiration to necessarily offer that kind of food. I just wanted to offer food that would give people a break from all of the junk food out there.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be, you know, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, plant-based, whatever, you know, soy-free. Because, you know, if I set out to do vegan, I could, you know, I could be doing something like, I don't know, for instance, like soy. Which is, as far as I'm concerned, is not great. But that's just my opinion. So I just wanted to offer food that would at least, I suppose, get people to start thinking about what they're consuming, or at least just give them a break from going to typical McDonald's or, you know, KFCs and all these types of places.
That's mad. It's almost like you're saying that you're revitalizing the body, should I say, in the right way.
The body has everything that all of the components work in unison. That's the thing about your body. Your body is, you know, it doesn't matter how old you get, you always have, so long as you're living and you're breathing, you always got life force. Your will to live is always there.
Okay.
You know, as long as you wake up, you have a will to live.
Okay.
So all it is that, you know, when we put these foods into our body, we kind of, I suppose, create a disharmony in our body, which it has to compensate for in other ways to keep us back on track. So your body's trying to fight for you to live. It wants you to, you know, it wants you to thrive. Exactly. So ultimately, when you consume food, it should be about providing the right kind of fuel for your body so that it can do its thing. But I don't claim any of the food that I'm serving is giving people health. You know, I'm not on this
medicine, like
you know, this spooky stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I get you.
Who am I to claim that I am, you know, providing health for somebody?
Yeah.
I can't claim that. You know, that sophisticated mechanism that makes up that person's anatomy. All of these things that are working in unison.
That's what's doing it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't claim that.
Well, you can say you're giving them a healthier alternative to some foods.
Yeah,
because the ingredients that you're using is clearly of like good standard in regards to.
Yeah, it's just I know myself. I don't want to offer something to the public that I wouldn't consume myself.
Yeah.
And I bear in mind the fact that when people are coming to visit us, they're also coming with their children.
Yeah.
You know, and how can I be, you know, how can me as a person that's meant to be conducive to my community be providing food that is
detrimental to the body?
Yeah, that is, you know, that just destroying that innocent child's body.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a real vivid way to put it, but the real way, the truth, like the right way to put it, 100%. Am I right in saying that any food you eat either does good for you or bad for you? Or would you say that there's like, for example, like, so eating that McDonald's meal or something that's not naturally good for you, would you say that anything that comes into the body either like fuels the body and fixes the body, or either does the opposite? Or is that too like rigid a way of looking at it?
It's too rigid. I think it's very rigid because at the end of the day, like I said, your body wants you is all about self-preservation. Okay. It's about survival. So you notice that people have the correct mind state, you know, in an environment which is, you know, is very oppressive and have limited food, can also survive and thrive and be more productive than the average human being in Western society. You know what I'm saying? That has all of those options available.
Okay, that makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you can't really, it's not on the food, you know, it's on a number of different factors that all work
in unison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They all work together to either help or hinder the mechanisms of the body. But it's not as simple as, all right, you get all these healthy people, so-called healthy people eating healthy diets, but their mind's not in the right place.
100%.
You know, and then you have someone who's just maybe he's only got, I don't know, one thing. Maybe they only have rice. And you look at the way their skin is shining, you know, just because of their outlook on life. And when they wake up, they're like, you know, thank you for, you know, I'm grateful to be here.
Positivity.
You know what I mean? Whereas you look at most, I'm not going to generalize, but there's a lot of the conversations I've had, you know, just in my daily interactions within London have been like people talking about what they don't have and what they want to have, rather than being grateful and appreciative for, you know, the fact that they're alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so it's mad, because I definitely agree with that just that like the will to live or the happiness or the gratefulness can create like a glow that sometimes here in the West you can have all the sun, all the good nutrients that if you're not happy inside, where you're dead inside, that will reflect on the outer vessel, should I say. You get it? So again, that makes complete sense. I guess my biggest question that I wanted to ask is, you mentioned that like why you do this in terms of you want to create a healthy alternative for the junk food, like to refresh the body. But may I ask, what was like the tipping point that made you say, I want to provide this now? Like what was the actual trigger or the catalyst, should I say, that made you think this has to be done by me?
It's just finding a sense of purpose, man.
Okay.
I think, you know, when you grow up and you're young in this society, it's all you got these kind of cookie cutters, you know, that say I'm part of this group.
Okay.
I'm a skateboarder. I'm a goth.
You
know, all of these things.
Identity.
Yeah, you know, a sense of identity through what you do. When if you break it down to our basic, if you look at how the ecosystem works, it's all about service.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's you know, this thing contributes to this other thing that allows this, you know, all of these components to work to give us a safe environment to live in. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Just everything is all about going back to where you come from.
The root.
The root.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You know, if you look at how expressive young children are, they're so being there, everything within them, the energy with them is, I want to express life. You understand what I'm saying? And then you start they see the world in color. And the more your experiences shape you as you get older, is the more your outlook, you start having this warped view of the world. You know what I mean?
The constructs out to like limit you and lock you down.
You define your adult qualities or characteristics are defined a lot through your childhood experiences. So I do understand that.
So you're constantly, you know what I'm saying? You're constantly, I suppose, compensating for your experience in your past, but in the present, in your present now. So you go through your whole adult life compensating for, you know, the fact that you felt weak or insecure in your past.
Yeah,
but that's no longer relevant to your life now. Why is that still relevant in your life today? You're no longer that child. You need 100%. To be the person that child needed. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is.
That's a great way of putting it. I'm not gonna lie.
You have to my mum says retraining or reparenting. Reparenting yourself, talking to that in your inner child, and the stuff that you learn or grew up learning or was exposed to, you have to reteach yourself that, whether it's negative or positive. If it's positive, push it forward. If it's negative, like retrain and give yourself a new outlook on the given situation. You know,
100%. Like relearning.
It's all we already know. It's about unlearning. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole relearning process, we already know. That's the thing. This is, you know, everybody tells you that you're inadequate, you're small, you're you know, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you're not this and whatever it might be.
Something enough, yeah.
You know,
all fans of that, if anything.
All of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be consumers if we weren't hurt
from something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how you create a consumer culture, is by making people that are insecure feel weak. They want to attain more to complete themselves.
100%.
But then if you focus on, you know, every day being I suppose representative of the fact that we all have everything we need, you know, that's your daily task every day in your life. You're like, I want to show that there's more
to me.
There's more than what they tell us there is.
You
know, life is not limited in this way. You understand? Your mind doesn't, you know, your mind can, you know, can unlock different things, you know what I mean? Just based on your 100%. Perspective. And it's just about just those kind of tunings. And I think for me, becoming more aware of who I really was, versus who I was told I was.
That makes a lot.
Made me, you know, you can't, like, our whole thing, that's what US stands for. It stands for overstand us.
Yeah.
So it's all about overstanding your potential.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
so
that's why I work the way I work. Every day I'm up early morning, I finish late night. And I'm not gonna stop, you know what I mean? Because every day I'm realizing I'm revealing more of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can talk all you want, but doing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Doing it, you're reaffirming to yourself by your actions who you really are, what you're capable of doing, how much you can go through and maintain. And that's the thing for me, is how much can you go through? Doesn't matter what changes around you, you stay the same, you have the same intention.
Yeah.
And that's infectious. And more people see that, they're like, you know what?
I respect it.
You know what I mean? Because if you look at the way a lot of our interactions happen, it's based. I was speaking to a young man about what do you say? If something happened to him, something happened to him with an experience with another individual, and I said to him, look, the way he behaved is not personal to you. That's how he feels about himself playing out.
Yeah, 100%. We spoke about this yesterday.
So so it doesn't. You don't have to take. You don't have to. He hasn't done. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't done that to you because he's gonna do that to everybody else.
You understand? Projecting his reality.
That's how we think.
Yeah.
Because me as a person, I wouldn't be like, let me shortchange this person, or you know, let me stab this person in the back. Because I don't feel that way about myself. You know what I mean? But the people that do that is because they feel that way about themselves. So it's never personal. Nothing that goes on. No actions that people take or do is personal to you, because there's always a choice. You can always make a choice about how you interact or respond to certain situations.
You have high emotional intelligence, bro, because it's so natural to take offense to what people are saying, just because, like,
ego, innit?
Yeah, but say if I was to say something to you right now, or you was to say something to me right now, my head would ponder on it. Whereas it sounds like you'd sit back and think about it, reevaluate it, and obviously just take away. If it applies to you, it applies to you. If it doesn't, you don't take it on. You know,
but nothing does apply to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone calls me a racist word on the street. It's as good as calling me a carrot.
Yeah.
I give meaning to You know what I'm saying?
It's us who gives power to the word.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you get angry, you take on that person's disease. But that same person that might be racist to you on the street or say something racist to you is probably the same about a football team that they hate or about a specific breed of dogs. They just live like that. They're hateful people.
Yeah, it's in them.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's not personal to you. They just...
And they're projecting that hatred.
Yeah, they're projecting hatred. You know what I'm saying? How can you hate somebody based upon how they look? It's madness.
Bro, that's just the whole... That's an emotional, unintellectual, pseudo-scientific argument. You get it? That just... I guess when people have that emptiness, you get it, or that lack of security in them to not be affected by things, they have to build something that is like the ideological other or the enemy, do you get it, to make them feel right about themselves, do you get it? And I think it comes down to that, do you get it? When you don't know yourself and you don't know who you are, you try to be, or you end up believing what you're told you are, do you get it? And for certain, I guess, demographics in society, you're now told you're the archetypal this or you're the archetypal that or you're the model this, and then when they don't feel like they are that, they project that into hatred and hatred for others. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So when did you start to believe and start to know who you was, and that was like an outwards energy that you was expressing?
I still go through it as we all do it. That's what I'm saying. You already know who you are. I still go through this thing of, okay, I'm by myself. I feel a little bit lonely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seeking approval or and I'm like, what? And then I have what I do now, because these presets are still in my mind. I have a conversation with myself, and I'm like, yo, you're your best friends, man.
Love yourself.
You don't need anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
Because ultimately, you know, most of my time is me sitting in a van by myself. I interact with people. Hi, bye. They go on about their daily lives.
You go on about this.
I go on about my life. You understand what I'm saying? And ultimately,
you have to be your own best friend.
Yeah, you have to lift yourself up.
No,
you know
honestly,
go
on. Sorry, go on.
No, you can't rely on other people to
make you happy for who you are. You got to do that yourself.
Yeah, you do that internally, and then you walk with a certain energy. And every day you go through your life, you walk with that energy, and that's what the whole thing is, being unaffected no matter what comes at you.
Yeah,
you know
steadfast in yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I definitely agree.
Otherwise, you're just constantly reacting to your environment.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? Because I think I have an important question that I think the people might want to hear. So
yeah.
Did you have something to say? A question?
No, it wasn't really a question. It was just carrying on from what you said in regards to being your own best friend. A friend of mine told me that you should read like the same thing, and the reason being is because if you like Moncef, one of my best friends, if I was to speak to him in a belittling way, like how I may speak to myself sometimes, like if I make a mistake, I'm such an idiot, that will eventually start to chip away at you mentally, because you'll start to believe them things that you're saying about yourself. Like, you don't talk to your best friend in a disrespectful manner unless you're joking or bantering with them. But in any other form, there's no reason for you to do it to yourself. You need to look after yourself 100%.
No, I definitely agree. You hit the nail on the head. You wouldn't do it to somebody else, but we do it probably the most to ourselves.
To ourselves with our worst critics.
We look at banter though. What is the purpose of banter?
Yeah, poking fun at people and then saying, "Oh, it's a joke."
I've never been good at banter because I'm like,
I ever get hurt. I go a bit too far.
I didn't go far. I always say the wrong thing, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that." So I just don't do it. I just accept it all, and I just laugh it off. All right, okay, I'm the joke. No problem. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But what is the purpose of banter? When you break it down, it's not constructive at all. It's a waste of time.
100%. Like perfect. You hit it's a waste of time. It's literally a waste of time. But I think we're just like, we're in a time now where we're fueled by superficial like content and so many things that we just like, we're almost told how to be. Like you said earlier, once you stop to believe who you told you were and build that identity for yourself, like it's a big shift from where we all once was. Do you get it? And I think doing that is literally like the key I think to all, because I think I was in that same predicament as well when I was just like, I'm this guy based off my experiences, what I've done and what the world tells me I am. Do you get it? Like being Algerian, we're in the E part of BAME. Do you get it? Like we're not like in any of the capital letters, we're supposedly this. So it's like, and for a long time I felt like, because not because of that, but so many other societal things, you become no one, until I told myself, no, like I'm everything I can be, want to be, take away all the social constructs that once kind of, I guess, limited me, if that makes sense. Which then leads me, to my question, which was, I think a lot of people need to understand this. You said that your brand or your creation is essentially to overstand us. For the people who don't really understand that, what does that really mean? Like, break that down.
it's about it's again, it's going back to who you are. You know what I'm saying? We're told, we're given this limited narrative of who we are. So that's an understanding, you know, of your potential. We live in a part of the world where we celebrate mediocrity.
Yeah.
So we give each other. If you look at how patronizing the behavior is, I'm gonna give you a medal. You've got gold. You got silver. You got bronze.
Give you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then we go, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you break down that behavior. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's this is how you limit people. You with these limited constructs, because they say, I don't know who's the fastest man in the world. Is it still Usain Bolt? Or
It's my dog.
Still got the record,
It's my dog. You say, yes, sir.
Still got the record.
He's still got a record.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's a man that runs twice as fast as him with his grandma on his back every day to get water barefoot.
You know
what I'm saying? And he's just like, this is normal. But this is what I'm saying. In this society, we this whole thing of being mediocre is goes. Why? We're meant to constantly, you know what I'm saying? Your mind limits, everything, based on your perception of yourself again. So imagine if you could overstand, you know what I'm saying? You could tap into those, or you could, there's a constant message going out there every single day. As much as there's this, buy this, you need to wear this, you need to that, whatever, you need to be worried about how you look and all these weird things. Imagine there's a narrative that operates at the same frequency as all of these outlets that provide that information, that misinformation that goes, you can do more, you can be more. You know what I'm saying? Once you get rid of all the shit in the way and reveal who you really are. And that's what my whole thing is. It's cryptic. It's done, like I said, it's done through food, it's done through content, it's done through books, it's done through working with different people, it's done through film.
Modern language, I would call that modern languages. Do you get it? It's a new way for people to understand.
But it's like all of these mediums are like, all right, okay, cool. It's like palettes. All right. Constantly because we understand that this is how this other machine is working right now. It's in everything. It's the fibers of everything is micro little
interconnected.
To just make that person go, you know what? I feel low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so there needs to be something.
There's a service that
goes, all right, cool. Come on, guys, let's go.
Yeah.
And then
fuel up, charge up.
Yeah, but then once you walk that walk, you have to also be representative of that.
An ambassador.
Yeah. I can't be talking this thing and have like a secret dark life, you know what I'm saying? Doing some weird, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. So it's also a journey within myself to make sure on behalf of everybody else and myself, most importantly, I stick to, you know what I'm saying, one kind of, and I think, a lot of the time, based on whatever my kind of weak personality traits are, maybe I need to use other people as an excuse to keep on going, because I haven't found it within myself yet to keep on going. But it is what it is. The more and more I do that, and I give service, as much as I can, however I think I can help within my, whatever I can do, or whatever within my capacity, then I think I will only get stronger and stronger, and be able to, as a byproduct of that, give off more energy. Yeah. Because that's the thing. Once you change your thinking patterns and the type of food you put into your body, you, without thinking, already start becoming anew. You constantly give birth to new
cells inside the body. You're fueling.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is becoming, like, is saying, okay, now I realize my potential, because you're getting rid of the shit in the way. You know what I'm saying? You're getting rid of that stuff, and then it's like, all right. And then what happens is the good just overpowers the bad. 100%. And those positive, those thought patterns associated with potential, rather than like decadence and fear and like, negative things, they become weakened. The good thoughts overpower the bad thoughts, 100%. And then your brain starts to change. And then once your brain starts to change, you look at that idea that you used to find appealing, and you're like, it's still gonna pop into your mind.
Of course, pathways are still there.
Yeah, exactly. That happens to me all the time. I get thoughts that go, and I have to separate myself from that particular thought pattern. I'm like, all right, what are the consequences of that particular thought pattern? And let me weigh it up. Is it worth going here when I'm already starting to go here? And then I'm like, But if I was at that lower frequency, those ideas would be stronger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They'd be more apparent. I'll be like,
directs you more.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And that's all it is once you start creating those new patterns, once you understand who you are,
you know
what I'm saying? But then again, like I said, it's all about going back to who we were born this way, and we were conditioned to believe otherwise.
100%. We just spoke about that.
Yeah, like look at bees, and everything serves its purpose.
Yeah, like I would even go fast to say the whole universe is made in a way where it supports life. Do you get it? Like the way the sun is there for long enough for the plants to grow, plants feed us. Universe is literally the pattern it creates is life. Do you get it? It's made to sustain life in every way. Like as we're literally not us, but women are childbearing humans. You get it? Like humanity is passed on through us. So it's like when you see all this level of interconnectedness and what I would say, what I would call like I don't know if I would call it a perfect system, but I would call it an intelligent, like I can't even find the word, but like an intelligent, I guess, functionality of the universe. That's kind of what I'm trying to say.
But it is perfect. That's the thing.
Yeah,
when you break it down.
Yeah, it is.
Everything is perfect because at the end, even the imperfection is still perfect because it serves a purpose. You understand what is letting go of that control and just sitting back and being like, yo, the fact that I can even speak right now, there's all of these little things just moving like that.
Yeah.
The moment they go like that rather than like that, everything and then my speech is, it changes or I might not.
It's a madness of creation.
My vocal cords might not stop working, or all these things, or my brain might stop working, just from one little. Hear about these freak accidents where something happens, and all of a sudden that person is
got a new accent, or they've been in a coma for years, and then they change like sexuality preference, like so many different things the brain can just trigger, or they learn a new skill after they're in a coma.
Have you seen? There's a boy that's blind. And he's able to roller skate, and he uses like clicking sounds like a dolphin.
Oh, for echoes.
For solar. What is
sonar?
Sonar.
Yeah, sonar, isn't it?
Yeah. And so he literally clicks and hears those sounds bounce off the different materials or wherever it is, and that's how you find guys
from like America. Yeah, from America. Yeah. And he does the clicking thing, innit? And I've seen that.
Crazy. So for the people to get more insight on you, we know that you've done the stall, but what else, like fully rounded, what do you do?
To be honest, I've always found that question really strange. It's like when you walk into rooms, everybody's like, okay, so
what do you do?
So what do you do?
I hear you.
I'm not
coconuts moving. Them coconuts moving, and you revitalize people. Like it's simple.
It's about movement. That's what I'm saying. Nothing. I'm not specific to any kind of thing.
No, there's no box.
If coconuts, I find something else to do. That would carry the same. It's all about giving birth or constantly creating a series of movements and based upon intentions that I suppose create a certain ambience within myself and in my environment that is conducive on a I suppose ecological level. It's all about self-preservation and being representative of life. So that's everything. So it could be. That's what I'm saying. Like I could be doing anything. I could be, you could be the best skateboarder. Like there's a guy called Rodney Mullen. He's a skateboarder, and he basically everybody skateboards in a certain kind of way. If you see this guy skateboard, he does some crazy stuff. And that's all he does. He allows himself to be a vessel of life. That's all it is. So when you say what do you do, even explaining what you do,
kind of chips away at it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just how can I take credit for what I do? You understand? Because me just being is enough.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying, but I feel like it's like chapters in your life because it's always going to change. Like if I was to ask you that 10 years ago, you'd be saying something different. If someone's going to ask you 10 years time, it will be something different potentially, And so it's always like, because obviously we know a lot more about you than they do, and we know that you do the community kitchen, and like that's such a it's empowering because it allows people to get involved and like get knowledge of new foods, and we know that you do the deliveries on foods, and like there's a lot of I mean there's a lot of selflessness to what you do. There's a lot of selflessness, and it's only, like you said, we got to plug it. It's only right that you get out there. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not your intention to like it's not like a numbers thing like that, you know. But when it needs to be done, it needs to be done. Like because where we bring people in, we see it as professionals in their field. You know what I'm saying?
People can teach us and like educate us.
We don't purposely come in like acting like we know everything that we're talking about in regards to a session. We like to bring people in that can give us insight, and you're the insight.
So another big question that I had for you in terms of him being the insight was that I've seen like the things you make, like the roti with the chickpeas, and the main question I had was, what's the one thing you would recommend for us to have regularly? Like what are the fixes? What are the things that the people should be having in a daily, like in their daily diet, in their maybe daily but weekly, in their cycle, to have regularly for them to, I guess, just be as healthy as possible?
Fasting.
Okay,
it's as simple as that. Not eating.
100%. Yeah.
And not drinking for a day.
And 100%.
And then your body, because it's like you have a car, man. You have a car. You constantly putting fuel. I've had cars when I was younger that I destroyed because I didn't have this concept of self-preservation, or not self-preservation, or preserving and maintaining that particular engine and all those mechanics that allow that car to function. I just abuse the fact that this car allows me to travel without thinking about the fact that it needs service.
That's a great way to look at the body.
You know what I mean? Same thing with your body.
That's a great
you know what I mean? Eventually, like I said, your life force, your will to live, as long as you're waking up every day, it's there within you. But eventually it's gonna be like, you know what? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's like you just keep on abusing me, man. Like you keep on abusing me. And when you fast, all you do is for that moment of time, you get rid of that stuff that gives your body a break and allows it to regenerate itself. So it doesn't matter if you can only afford certain kinds of food, or you don't want to, you know, you find it difficult to lean towards more healthy foods, whatever. Just fasting, man. That's all you need.
I'd like you. I didn't expect you to say that, but like that was one of the best examples you could have given. Like when I first looked into fasting, obviously, like as a Muslim, it's an obligation, and for me, it's beautiful that like as a Muslim, it's one of our obligations to do better for the body. To get it, to literally have that time period where you allow your body to regenerate. But what was even more interesting for me is that when I started to research into this, I actually found out that Plato and Aristotle would make their students fast for 40 days prior to attending any course, just because it's been proven now that fasting also improves the memory. So I think it's a great example that you mentioned fasting, because that's something that anyone of any demographic, any financial background, any literacy rate can do. You get it? It's free.
Yeah,
you get it.
I'm not gonna. I mean, the sad thing is now is I see people charging people money to coach them through fasting. That's why I said one day, I said,
that's
look,
mad.
If you want to message me,
very mad.
Just message me. I can only give you advice based on my experiences. I'm not any like medical professional. Well, I don't. You know, all my thing is like, yo, this is my experiences. This is how I learned to deal with these things based on my experience and what works for me. And if you want to take on board that information, take it on board. I'll share it with you, but do your own independent research.
So in terms of that, because like there has been this new rebirth, you know, like intermittent fasting is healthy, like people are clocking it, even though it has been very like an ancient thing. There's obviously different ways to do it. So some people will do like the morning and like for the first 12 hours or first 6 hours not eat anything. Some will do the not eat anything after 6 p.m. Some people will do the fast Monday and Thursday, like every Monday and Thursday of the week. So, and then some do that just drink water. Like there's a lot of variations to how people fast. What would you recommend to be the optimum way for the body, for someone to go through a fast?
I always I like the way I like to understand things is based on, you know, what makes sense to me based on research, I suppose, into how your anatomy and your, you know, within your body you have an inner ecology. It's like we were talking about, it's like ecosystem. So, you know, within you is little aliens that are there that are conducive to particular bodily functions. So it might be enzymes, you know, it might be good bacteria. Then you have other organisms that, based on your lifestyle choices, it's like this whole thing with cancer cells, for instance. They say that cancer cells are already in your body, within your body.
And then
you
they
just
multiply.
You just create an ecology
for them to grow and
grow.
Or
so you can either have create ambience within your body that gives, you know, life to that rise of that army,
or the opposite.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So I think with fasting, when I looked into water fasting, I based it on, all right, if you have a pool of water right here and you leave it for a long time, it's going to give birth to mold, mildew, whatever it might, you know. So there's other things that are going to come in there and grow
from there.
Bacterial growth. Now, we know that the good cells in our body, we were born with them, you know, so they're better suited to our inner ecology
than the other.
It's other ones. So I'm like, why am I? Because we know your body can survive without water and food for, you know, it's not a 24-hour fast. It's just from sun up to sundown. You understand what I'm saying? You're good.
You confirm it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know that if you deprive your body of both food and water, those bad pathogens and parasites that live in your body, you're providing with no kind of fuel. So what's happening, because the good gut cells in your body, you're born with them, they're more accustomed to that environment. It's like, all right, you've got an area where people have been living there for generations and generations and generations. They're naturally more adapted to live in that area than anybody that comes into that area. You understand what I'm saying? We're more adapted. We understand how things work, you know. So if you deprive the foreign, like the I suppose, like these parasites and I would say the parasites in your body, because remember they sap off your life force. Their whole being is based upon taking away energy. You know what I mean? Whereas your good cells are all about service. They're naturally, it goes back to that willpower. You know what I'm saying? Their willpower is naturally going to be stronger, is going to be greater. One, their willpower is going to be greater than the bad stuff, and two, they're more accustomed to living in that environment. So just by depriving them, there's a process in your body called autophagy, and what that means, it basically, I can't remember how you break it down, but it's when your good cells, what happens? So when you weaken the state of both of them, because they're naturally stronger, your good cells come along like a Pac-Man and engulf
the white blood cells. Am I right in saying?
They engulf the bad cells. Just by creating an environment where they're stronger. So you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna ultimately it's about creating a weak state for these bad things, that are not as accustomed to living within your body. And then your good cells come along, they consume them, and eventually, through a process of fasting, you start to feel stronger. You feel worse before you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because that's these like invaders' way of,
like a process,
making you feel as though you're doing the wrong thing. They're trying to fool you into believing that you're doing the wrong thing when you're actually doing the right thing.
Am I right in saying that will come in like maybe lightheadedness,
dizzy, you know what I'm saying? You might get flu-like symptoms. You know, because ultimately, even if you look at like viruses and disease and all these things, it's not the virus that kills you. The virus wants you to live, because the virus it's symbiotic. It wants to stay within your body so that it can pass from host to host. It doesn't want to kill you. So usually what happens with a lot of these viruses, the first wave of the virus that comes, it's not in tune. Your body has to train it. You understand? So it will go into certain people's bodies and it'll be like, oh shit, and it kill off those people. Then eventually it will go into the right person that trains it. And once that person trains it, it's like, oh, okay, if I go beyond this now, based on that information, this person's going to die. I don't want this person to die because I want to prolong my life as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Am I right in saying by training, you mean creating that vessel or that environment to not allow it to grow?
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
100%. That makes perfect sense. And I think that's a golden gem for the people listening. I'm not going to lie, because you've broken down essentially the process and the benefits of fasting, which is beautiful. And I couldn't have put it better like myself. So props. But
I hope it makes sense, because to be honest, you know,
we're tired.
No, I'm not tired. I say a lot of different things from a lot. I get things coming into my mind from different information that I know, but he doesn't necessarily always come out in one
No, but
thing.
there's
So
a
it's just
few-
random things that come together, things that I know, and then I kind of go, yo, just put it together yourself if you can.
If you can, no,
Yeah, take that
was
information,
perfect,
run with it, and put it together.
Nah.
So in regards, so I got a question because someone asked something in regards to the deliveries, because you deliver fruits, right?
Yeah.
Fresh fruits.
Yeah.
Is there any like, where's your radius in regards to traveling? Someone asked, does he travel? I know you do. So where's your radius in regards to?
So I do different. I deliver to different days, different areas on different days. So like today I was in West London, tomorrow I'm in North London, Friday I'm in East London, and then on Tuesdays I also post.
Okay.
So I post outside. I post within Europe. So I sent out an order to
continental. I like it. Come on.
I sent an order to Barcelona this week.
I
Sent an order
respect
to Amsterdam, and then like just from different parts of the UK. You know.
That actually that's just kind of, I guess, splurged the question into my brain from that, is that I guess you're now seeing, like, of course, because you've been in it, you're seeing that like rebirth of people caring about health and going back to what we'd say is the root. Do you get it? Like, I'm sure like your modern way of like colonization, how like, because you keep mentioning it, going back to the root, going back to the original. So that leads me to my question, is that how have you seen, like, I'm sure you've grown from day one to day now. So how has that process been in terms of the people's, like, are you seeing more people more in tune with their health, more people aware, or are you seeing a decline?
I think we've always been aware, because I just think it's just about that personal journey, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think, you know, and the interesting thing is that the people that are more aware are not the people that would be stereotypically seen as being aware.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's normal people. You know, these, you know, I don't like to generalize, but you know, like the so-called upper class, or supposedly, supposedly whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you look at their lifestyle habits, you know, it's
not exactly refreshing to the body, should I say?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just, I mean, they have better choices of, it's like pick your poison. You know, based upon how much money they make or whatever tax bracket they're in, their choices of poison and like medicine or whatever are just at a higher standard or higher quality. But
production value is higher.
Yeah, well, I think we all know, man. I think you know, there's all these we all come from that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a generational thing where I suppose now we're starting to realize when your grandma used to say certain things to you that didn't make any sense.
Now it's clicking, bro, 100%.
But even she didn't know where that came from, because she just knew it was the right thing. When you feel this way, this is what you do.
Bro,
for this reason. But they don't know why, and I think that's why because we're the generation of going on the internet and
Googling everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So nobody gives you an explanation. They say, do this. And you're like, but why? And they're like, no, because trust me, this will make you feel good.
Yeah, man.
You're like, nah, man.
Yeah, like,
I know better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got the internet. It doesn't say this.
100%, man. I definitely I resonate with that. Like, we spoke about this when we were doing the community kitchen. Like, I was very unhealthy until a certain point, and when I started to get to that point when I was like, oh my god, I'm destroying my body, and then I'm going back to my mom like, Mom, I remember the time you told me about turmeric and it's very good for you, and she's like, oh, now you want to like look at turmeric, you get it? Or now you want to look at this, and it's like you said, we're almost. I was at that point where, because we're generation Google and we're like blinded by all these shiny lights that have that effect of we're actually right. You almost downplay the benefits of I would call the village. Do you get it? The root. Like my mom, like everything that now I'm looking at, my mom was like, I told you about this when you was 12, or I fed you this, but you spat it out when you was 13. Do you get it? So I definitely resonate with that thing about going back. Do you get it? And again, just getting generation Google, because that is definitely, like, I would say that's definitely me. Do you get it? So what, again, that I guess inspires me to think about, or to talk about, is that this all comes from what you spoke about, which is just going back again to the original root. But the question from that stems to me is, what do you recommend as, I guess, not even recommend, but what would you in your world have as like the go-to revitalization meal, like when you feel weak, when you feel like, okay, cool, I'm not where I need to be, I'm not feeling it. What do you make to say, yeah, this is gonna make me fall back to my senses, back to me?
I'll say, yeah, like I said, the fasting, that's one.
Yeah, but
and then
food wise,
start your day with add your dates and cucumber.
Okay, cool.
Dates.
So
Okay.
am I right in saying adult dates is good for circulation? And
Yeah.
for flushing things out?
But I think what dates do is they stimulate your digestive system.
Okay.
So when you've gone through your sleep process, your body has done what it needs to do. It's recovery mode. So your body is recovering as you're sleeping. So you're unconscious, but there's a whole another world
Working,
going, because that energy, has been preserved for those particular functions. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to give yourself more issues after it started to get rid of all this waste. You want to aid the further. You want to get rid of that stuff again. Is to getting rid of that stuff.
You fuel it.
So I'll say dates. Dates stimulate your digestive system.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So first thing in the morning, you have some dates that will help clean out whatever debris was left from the night. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Then you have it with some cucumber.
Why cucumber, man?
Because they.
I'm trying to verbalize it. How did you get to a point when you realize this knowledge with food? Like, when did you get to that? Okay, I know what foods to eat. How did you educate yourself? Like, what was it to get to that process? Because for me, it was generation Google, YouTube, you get it, learning that, and then through the literature. But what made you know? Okay, these are the foods I need. These are the bad foods. How did it happen?
It's just about sharpening your tools. So it's like, okay, I have made the choice to live this particular kind of life. It's based on this level of high performance. And if you're going to perform on that level, you got to give yourself the right nutrition. You understand what I'm saying? 100%. So it was like, how do I preserve myself on this level? Because I feel good up here. I feel good being able to function these hours of the day. I feel good to be able to, be this productive. And okay, what?
Got to maintain that.
Yeah, how can I maintain that? For me, because I feel good at doing it. You know what I mean? How do I reward my body and give my body the right foods and fuel to keep that, to maintain that standard? And that's all it was. I think it's all about, okay, it's like starting a business, for instance. It's not hard, but it's not easy.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because ultimately, again, it's based upon you. No matter what happens, you got to believe in it.
You got to see it before everybody else does.
You know what I mean? And this is the thing. And I think when you have the right food in your body, you're dealing with the right kinds of food. It just helps with, like I said, reaffirming keeping those ideas at the, at the higher level than the lower, than the lower ideas. Because you say, like I said, your body, what you put into your body will change your mindset. So if you're eating foods that are more stressful for your body to break down, to digest and all that stuff, then there's stress hormones in your body, cortisol, and adrenaline, all these things.
Of course.
They wear your body out. So of course, when you ask your body to perform on a higher level, it's gonna go, nah, man.
I can't do that.
I can't do that. Can I do that? Nah, I'm too weak. Whereas when you put the right fuels in your body, that idea, when it presents itself to you, you're like, you good? And you're like, yeah, I am. I can 100%. Do this. And that's what it is.
And am I right in saying that's even like, I guess, beneficial on a psychological level? Because when you eat food, like now, especially when you get the knowledge of what's good and what's not good, and then you eat something that you know is unhealthy, your own brain is like, oh, I know it's not really good for me.
I feel like that can happen to me sometimes.
And then, does it make sense? And then on the opposite, when you eat something really healthy in the morning, you're more inclined to actually be healthy for the rest of the day, because you're like, I feel like, cool, I've started well. You get it? So I'm gonna fuel myself with the right stuff for the rest of the day. So it's also beneficial on a psychological level to actually, you're reaffirming that you want to be healthy. You get it? Or you want to be at the optimum level. So by liking the food you like, or like, sorry, by picking the right foods, you know you're doing yourself like a service.
Yeah, like
Does
I
that
had
make sense?
macaroni and cheese today, and
Dairy and that.
and so I was thinking I wasn't really setting myself up to give myself loads of energy to. It was just before I came to the studio, and so I knew that I wasn't giving myself the best food that I needed. Maybe, and then I'm thinking I'm potentially gonna have it for lunch tomorrow. So what can I do to increase the nutrition in that meal? Maybe have some fruit on the side when I'm having it. Add some, I don't know, sweet corn to it, just to really give it that balance that it needs to be more nutritional.
It's not as simple. This is the thing. It's not as simple as just, you know what I'm saying? You're better off if that's all you got to eat, just eating that. Sometimes when you add things to that, you create this petri dish for disaster. You know what I'm saying? So you got these more difficult to digest and break down foods.
Okay.
Then what you're doing on top of that, you're going to put fruit, because of this idea that fruit is healthy, but it's about combinations of foods, how you put foods together. So you're going to put that food into your body. You're going to put fruit on top of that fruit, which breaks down faster. It's going to sit on top of that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be on top of that food, that first food that you put in your body, just going to be rotten.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get the gas and the bloating and all those types of things as well. It's about how you put foods together.
So I got a question for you. Coming from the live, it says, would you recommend any herbs, and if so, which ones?
Herbs.
Yeah.
Again, it's just things that I use in my daily life.
Of course.
I think black seed oil is not a herb, but that's one thing I use, and it's an Irish moss.
Okay,
yeah.
Right, so I know a little bit, but talk to them about Irish moss. Tell the people, because our audience, they know a little bit, you get it, but they're not up there with like the superfoods and etc. So tell them what's important about Irish moss, Irish sea moss.
It's just mineral rich.
Okay,
so
great.
You know, it's a high source of iron. I can't remember what iron does. I think it makes your blood cells more, or something more. It do with absorption, I think.
Okay, I couldn't tell you in particular.
Yeah, I think iron is something to do with absorption. But it's just a mineral rich food, superfood.
Contained ridiculous amount of minerals that we have in our actual body.
Yeah,
it's like 93% or 92%.
Yeah, of the things we have in the body. So it's fueling every mineral that we need in our body, which is crazy. So
what? That's a daily intake on Irish sea moss.
What do you think? Is that an everyday thing?
Obviously, I've suffered with asthma most of my life, so the Irish moss has been really good with that. It helps to get rid of mucus from your body.
Interesting.
As well. It's just like a seaweed. These seaweeds are like scavengers.
Yeah.
So what they do is they go around your body and they stick to the things that, you know, it might be something bad in your body. You will find it and it will stick to it, and then you get rid of it.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. When me and my good friend Mox first came onto the whole thing, we fell into the whole Dr. Sebi, I guess, paradigm that all illness comes from like mucus. You get it? And if you clear mucus, supposedly, then your body's not in a state of illness. And I remember we just bought a bunch of like burdock roots, senna leaves, etc. Tried to grind them up and put in like natural pills and like literally ingested them for 3 days. On my life, we tried. Yeah, on my life, me and my friend Mox could not leave the house for 3 days because we were running to the toilet every 45 minutes. Yeah, and this is one glass in the morning. Do you get it? Like one fat glass of it in the morning, and we were flushed out. And someone who, if you have that chesty cough, which I did have due to some, like, I guess, not very good habits, when I did have that, I was, not gonna lie, free. Do you get it? Like, there was no heaving, there was no, like, you know, you feel your chest just in a whole another level of, like, just freeness.
When you feel it in your breathing.
Do you get it? When you have that chesty cough, usually, and then when you don't, it felt crazy. So, I guess, you spoke about Nigella sativa, you spoke about Irish sea moss. I know you don't want to, like, proclaim that these are the things that are going to make you feel better, etc. So for the people on the Insta Live, you kind of got to do your own research of what's good for you, because like OSU was talking, it is a lot of time also anecdotal, so it's different. Am I right in saying it's different to each individual? Everyone like kind of, I guess, has benefits of different things differently. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I think the health food industry, it does a disservice to people because it doesn't explain that each individual responds to different so-called superfoods in different ways.
That's very important.
And, you know what I mean? So obviously their whole focus on selling product.
They just sell to everyone.
Yeah,
everyone buys.
So everybody's like, I had a spirulina shake today.
Yeah. Probably had like 0.06% of spirulina.
Even if they did, do you know what that? Do you know when did you take it? How did you take it? What did you take it with? Do you know what that does with your for your body? You know what I'm saying? You can't just have a spirulina shake and be like, yeah, I'm healthy.
Yeah, I'm revitalized.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work like that. You've got literally the way how I deal with my body now. It gives me signs, and I go, yo, you need a little bit more of this. You need a little bit more of that. Crazy. I know what I feel when things are coming on, but this is how in tune we're meant to be. You know what I'm saying? If you wake up with your anatomy, you're like, all right.
Why does this feel?
You feel a little bit off over here, man. All right, let me try this. Dun, dun, dun. It's like when you have like I said, when you have a car. I know when I'm driving my car, it's feeling a little bit off. Yeah. And my van had a problem with its bearing. Okay. And I could feel it on one side. Yeah, it was making me uncomfortable every time I was driving. Yeah. It's like, nah, man, I don't wanna treat this vehicle that bad. I don't want to allow it to go on in this state. Yeah, I get you. You know what I'm saying? I want to look after it. You know what I mean? Because it's looked after me. Okay. Let me put the same thing with your body. All right, I'm feeling a little bit off here. You know, what can I do? All right, maybe I need to rest. You know, like let me rest. Let me recover. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, work is cool, but certain times you're like, all right, you know, I need to have a break.
Yeah, it's just as important, isn't it?
You know, the ultimate rebellion is stopping in a society that non-stop moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's stopping 100%. And counting blessings. Yo, all right, let me stop for a few minutes. Can I see? Can I smell? Can I hear? You know what I'm saying? I'm able to walk, whatever it is that you can do. And then you from that perspective, embark upon your day and just stop and just, you know what I'm saying? Look around and
it's
go,
almost like a check-in with yourself. Like you're checking in with yourself to see if
you're good, man. You're good. There's nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
What I was going to say is that what I identified, why I was even shocked, because I was going to say that the comparison you gave to yourself and the car is the underlying theme was gratitude. You get it, that you're grateful for the car giving you that journey and allowing you to go places, so you treat it nice. Same with the body. It's the vessel that allows us to survive, so you're going to treat it nicely. And then you carried on by saying, when you wake up, count your blessings, which comes down to gratitude. Literally being grateful for the smallest things that some people will say, oh, it's a random like evolution that we've come here and we have all these eyes and brain cells and nerve endings and millions of pathways in our bodies to do things. But am I right in saying that then the root to a lot of, I guess, or the root to the key things in growth are gratitude, or not?
Yeah, I think your body, every given moment, your body is developing cells. They're constantly
regenerating.
Yeah, regenerating, whatever. Yeah. And there's this thing where you have enzymes in your body. There's a lock and key theory. So there's a substrate and another thing. I can't remember what the two components are called. I learned it in science when I was young. It's like this shape fixed into this shape. Yeah. And that helps speed up whatever the particular bodily function is. Okay. So under a state of stress, you're going to warp these cells that are developing. You're going to warp them. So then you start a perpetual cycle of stress in the body, because you have stress, you warp the shape, you're creating more stress because it can't connect with this particular thing to do the bodily function in a way it needs to do. You know what I'm saying? So your thoughts are very important for the cells that are redeveloping in your body, which is very important to the function of your body, which is therefore important to the output. You know what I'm saying? How the expression of what goes on internally, how it expresses externally. You know,
so it's all interlinked.
Yeah.
Essentially. Damn. I hope everyone listening is taking notes, because 100%. They probably don't have to, because you know when you hear stuff that's so beneficial that they don't even it just sticks to you. Do you get it?
Yeah, it resonates.
Yeah, perfect. It resonates. You get it? I hope, because I'm feeling like this myself. Do you get it? So I hope people are feeling the same, because the gems are being dropped today are like amazing. So we've gone through the inspiration. We've gone through how, like, I guess why this is happening. Why you've come to the point of you decided this is a need that has to be done in society. Do you get it? Like you said, you're either a detriment or a benefit to the community, and serving, I guess, food like superfoods, healthy foods is being a service to the community. So not to even like put you on a pedestal, but mashallah, you're serving your community, you're providing like healthy alternatives, you're educating the people, you're inspiring the people. Like you've essentially shown a lot of people, shown the community that you can self-start, you can make it yourself. You don't need the big corporates, you don't need like the big deals. You can literally build a community from scratch, should I say? Do you get it? So I would just want to say personally, like, bro, I'm really inspired from what you've done. I think OSU, the way it's grown from I see the Instagram pages, the queues are crazy. Do you get it to the stores? So I want to thank you first of all for coming on and inspiring us. But I still think the people need a couple, not need a couple more gems, but I think the people need to be told now. Like, you've told them what to eat, you've told them what not to eat or what to do as behavior. You've told them how to kind of get there. You told them the keys to get there. So the gratitude, like how you gotta see it to get there. And I guess the final question for me, not sorry, the final, but the overarching thing for all this is, what do you then think of the health industry? Do you get it? Of the food industry, of agriculture? What is your perspective and take on the direction that's going in terms of like economic like degradation, environmental degradation? Do you have an opinion on that, or do you think, I don't know?
To be honest, like, I think, my opinion is, like, even with regard to I really appreciate you saying that I'm I can be seen as being inspiring or whatever, but my whole thing is, like, yo, all I am is a vessel for what's already there. You understand what I'm saying? That's my whole thing.
But
it's nothing more. Yeah, it's nothing more than that. I go through, like I said, I go through my fluctuations. I've got somebody that I've got corner people that hold me together.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not just out there in this world like, yo,
I'm Superman.
And it's like we're all there as far as a community to support each other. Just like, I have these people that support me. I'm there to support other people that come to me, and then we just create this support network. Yeah, exactly. And all it is about destroying these things that produce children who feel as though who have low self-esteem. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about that. It's just that is the war. You know what I'm saying? That is the war right now. That's all it is. It's as simple as that.
It's the war inside the head. I guess you get it. It's about shifting them perspectives. Do you get it?
Because who are you to tell me who I am?
Yeah.
You didn't create me. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You're gonna tell me? You know what, man? It doesn't matter what you say to me. I've got that foundation behind me where I'm like, no, I know who I am. You see, because the more I connect to where I come from, is the more I realize who I am. You understand what I'm saying? But then, who are we?
that was electric. We could have gone that way, which led me to my question. I was like, so not who are you, but what made you say, okay, this is not me, this is me? Do you get it? What was those questions? Like, how did that happen? Because I know how it happened for me, but I'm inspired.
I have to keep on saying it to myself.
Okay,
that's the thing. I have to keep on saying to me, like, yo, because it's very easy for me to like, oh yeah, okay, there's people queuing up my store. I'm grateful for that. Yeah, but it's very easy for me to go, yeah, I'm the man, and all these negative things. I have to correct myself all the time. I was like, never change. I have conversations with myself. That's why I spend a lot of time by myself. I have these conversations.
No, I get you.
Like, proper conversations. Like, yo, don't fall off, man. On behalf of yourself and other people, the people that put you in this position, keep on going. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall into the same trap. Don't fall into these conditions or presets that they've set. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, this ideal, that they set, that's our problem, is that we aspire to be like them. And by them, I'm not talking about like the lizard people or whatever. It's as clear as we can see within the society. There are certain, I suppose, presets that are ultimately self-destructive for the human being. You know what I mean? And these are being presented as being appealing, or ideals or whatever. Whoever might be putting them together, I don't know. I'm not here to discuss that.
I get you.
I'm just saying it's counterproductive to us as far as humanity to follow those. And that's not who we are. You know what I'm saying? And I think so long as we chase that vision, that these conditions, these presets, we constantly just be falling, like, you know what I'm saying? Just a constant churn, because it's unobtainable. Because once you get there, you're still gonna be, because you always want more and more and more. And even the lifestyle that you live that is presented, you're only renting that lifestyle.
You know what I'm saying? You're juggling it, if anything.
You're renting that lifestyle to live that particular life. Why do you want to live like that? I'm gonna learn more about myself the more the my outer circumstances change, and I'm able to remain the same on the same mission. So why am I going to put fences around my house and separate myself from the very people that supported me to get into that position in the first place? What's the point?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I can just have what's the point? Why have I worked that hard just to put a fence around my house?
And a lawn, so I'm 50 meters away from everybody.
Yeah. And have a car just so I can drive past people and say, you don't have money.
Walking.
I do. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
What's the point?
What
do you don't learn anything about yourself. As soon as you go into that mind frame, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing there. I want to be amongst the people. I always want to be amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I learn in these environments. You understand? This is what I learn.
Yeah.
I completely.
That's where you feel love. You know what I'm saying? That's where you feel community. All of these things. The war is that they're trying to break this down and destroy that. Perfect. You understand what I'm saying? Because the more people stay together, the stronger they're going to get. The more uplifting. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be counterproductive for whatever this particular
system.
You know what I'm saying? This Wizards of Oz type.
100 reptilians. You get it? that episode loaded, man. Don't worry, we're gonna go so that's a whole nother conspiracy.
So in regards to, obviously, there's loads of kids come out of the school system feeling like, some may feel like they don't know what they're going to do with the rest of their life. They're a little bit lost. Some may feel like they know what they do, they just don't know how to get there. Where was you in regards to, did you find this path, or did you know that you was always on that path? Oh, because I don't really want to talk about like it was destiny that you're meant to be here and do this, you know what I'm saying? But obviously there was a point where in my life where I went, oh, well, I've done something and it's some form of work, but it doesn't feel like work to me. And it feels like this is something I could do for the rest of my life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously this is your passion. You've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
So was your thoughts always in line with you going that direction? Or
you know what it was I was very lucky, to be honest. I had people around me that were like, you can be there's unlimited potential.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went to a school where for whatever reason certain teachers gravitated towards me.
Okay.
And they were in my corner and they were like, all right, education doesn't test your intelligence. It tests how well you
memory.
Not even just your memory, how well you adhere to rules and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
You write in this standardized way to get to get the marks.
The marks, yeah, right. Their criteria.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Is what they set for you. It doesn't promote free thinking.
Yeah, your creativity.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about creativity, and that's why people invest money in private school. All they're doing is paying for those teachers to have one-to-one support to teach those children how to apply themselves to the system. And the thing is, the illusion is that when you go to, it's based upon the capability, the individual capability of that child. It's not, because it's conditions. You know what I'm saying? There's conditions to achieving these results.
100%.
Based on how much money you put up. So I had the benefit of, I suppose, having teachers around me that were like, you know, when I done my A-level, my history A-levels, I think a couple of my exams, I got 100% in my exams.
Come on.
Because my teacher was
history,
like,
you know.
Yeah.
An A-level, oh my lord.
I had to drop that AS, I can't even lie.
Bro, but GCSE, I was struggling. So A-level.
No, but again, like, that's all it was. I had good teachers around me. I remember, it's just like, I always had, you know, my teacher was like, she went to Cambridge. And she was like, all right, you know, based on your grades, you can go to an interview at Cambridge. Yeah. So I went to the interview and I just sat there and I looked at it and I was like,
same me.
I think at the time my whole history thing was on like Palestine or something.
Oh,
I was that kid that was, you know, always, because I had people encouraging me. You know, so I didn't feel uncomfortable.
Thinking like that.
Yeah, thinking in a different way. You know, but then I think certain point that you know, that conditioning away from that kind of overcame my you know, my sense of purpose or whatever it is, you know, and I became lost in these algorithms, which is like, all right, you look a particular way, you know what I'm saying, you got to dress a particular way, your life becomes about going to these particular social environments. You know what I'm saying, I've been, you know, all these lads holidays, all of these petri dishes for disaster. You know what I'm saying, I've been through you know, it was an interesting experience, but it was like, beneath all of that, I always had this belief in myself based upon my foundation, which was like, you know, okay, all right, I went and studied law. When I finished my degree, I was volunteering in a law center. This barrister, who was, the problem I found was with a lot of people that quote unquote come from our community in these professions is this whole thing of there's no evolution. It was like, it was hard for me, so I'm gonna make it hard for you as well.
Yeah, I hate that, bro. But
So a lot of the times, that's what I found with a lot of, you know, these guys, and I was like, okay, yo, I really want to try this out, and well, you need to prove yourself, and I'm like, but I'm coming to you. I'm just saying, put me on a platform, like, trust me, I'll show you. From this other world, these old, you know what I'm saying, I had a guy called Simon Edwards, who was like an old Cambridge graduate, private school educated. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to him with his little social gatherings and stuff. He used to bring me along with him, you know, and his friends would be like,
"What's doing with this guy?
Yeah, what are you doing with him?" And he didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was in my corner.
I respect it.
And he said to me, he said, yo, really think about it. He's like, look, if you want to do this, I got this person over here, I got this person over here, I got this person over here. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, I was doing work experience and stuff. And then one of the law firms called me back, and I said, look, I'm already making money. You know, not this is all about money. I kind of need to receive some kind of, what's the word, remuneration from
compensation.
From doing this, you know, because it's taking me away from, I was running a removal business or something at the time, something like that, just random things I was doing. And they were like, okay, cool. And that's what I realized. I was like,
I have power.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all based upon belief. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's the only thing that makes, you know, we're all the same. We all have the same, you know what I'm saying? We have to find, I think we're all gifted in our own kind of individual ways and stuff.
I agree.
But it's all down to your mindset. You understand? Whether or not you pursue that. And I think because I had certain people around me that encouraged me to, you know,
believe in yourself.
Essentially, that's what I said. This guy out of nowhere, I didn't know from nowhere. He was like, look, we have all these opportunities, but really think about this, because I think maybe you don't want to do this. You want to do your own thing. And I was like, then I think I went to Turkey. I was randomly in Turkey.
Okay.
I was doing, I went over there, I was trying to set up a clothing business or something.
Yeah, I hear that.
So I went over there for textiles and stuff, manufacturing and stuff. And I was speaking to this guy, and he's like, what do you want to be? He's like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer. He's like, you want to be a liar? And I was like, no, I want to be a lawyer. He's like, you want to be a liar? And then I was like, yo. And I think that's the thing. It was always in my mind. The thing based upon my experiences, if I didn't want to do something, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when everybody was listening to So Solid Crew, you know what I'm saying? You know, who I really wanted to be is I was into like collecting vinyl, like scratch DJing. I was into hip hop, like that was my thing. And I used to skateboard, you know what I mean? But where I was from and where I grew up, that wasn't a thing that was seen as acceptable.
And if it's not acceptable, it's kind of, it's not like, okay, you do that, that's cool. It's like complete the other end of the spectrum. It's like, what? You skate? It's mad.
And now it's different. You know what I'm saying? You can be whatever you want to be. Now nobody judges you for that,
100%.
especially amongst the youth.
100%.
But then it's like, well, you're
categorized, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a skateboarder. I'm like, in my mind, I idolized certain skateboarders that were like cool. You know what I'm saying?
Guys are like, these guys are lit though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They do mad tricks on boards and stuff. Why is there this stereotype associated? Like, why me just expressing me? Why do I fall victim to
your, like,
you know what I'm saying? Now I'm a certain person because I skateboard. I'm just riding on a board with wheels. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know. And I think beneath everything, as much as I went away and I done things, you know, I still, even when I done those particular things, I had my own way of doing it, kind of based upon, you know, I would kind of follow the crowd, but never follow the crowd.
I get you.
I'll just show that I'm doing it because I'm like, all right.
I get you.
This is how I need to be. And then eventually got to a point where I was like, you know what?
I'm done conforming.
Yeah, I'm done, man.
100%, man. I can definitely resonate with that. I don't know if you can as well. But
yeah, musically, I feel like myself, I personally, I struggle to, because you know the scene right now is a bit, in the direction of just drill music and everything like stems of drill music in regard to the UK scene.
That's what the lights on right now. That's what I would say. The lights on that. Like,
but there's so much music that's so like from a different perspective. Like if we're talking about Kojay Radical or Che Lingo, there's so many people that speak a different message that doesn't get that same attention because it's not on the forefront, because it's not deemed cool. You know, there's a lot of things that's deemed cool.
So it's still happening. Like no,
it's still, but there's so much more. like even if we're looking at how it gives the perception of our people, like music, there's like a large plateau of music that we have in the UK scene, and it's only been stopped. We're only seeing like parts of it, and so those parts are giving people misconceptions of how we are, and so those misconceptions are like being put tenfold now because everyone wear masks, so everyone's fearful of you in the first place. They're fearful without masks, now they're extra fearful. And so if we was able to show our fully rounded selves, our different personalities, our characteristics, people would have a more better understanding of who we are as a people, you know.
100%, 110%. And
it's about not conforming though. This is the thing. Eventually, this is the thing. It's a machine. The algorithms can be broken. 100%. They can be trained. We created these machines. They don't create us. They don't define who we are.
Can break the chains.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that moment where you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore because everybody likes this. Take that out of your head.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? You just got to keep on doing it. There's a guy called Little B. I don't know if you ever remember Little B.
The God, come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? He was the guy. He's very intelligent. His whole thing, he basically shows you how to market yourself on the internet. Now the internet is not about the content; it's about the frequency of content. That's what I'm trying to say to you. The same way this negative narrative is being pushed, you got to be willing to go down that route of doing the counter product, whatever you want to push out at that same level of performance, that same frequency. Otherwise, forget about it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he showed. He think done a video every day for a year or something like that.
Yeah, and
where he was rapping off beat. You know what I'm saying?
I just see, and on Twitter he followed like everyone. He's got like 400,000 following. I mean, like just to engage again. So 100%, he changed the game in that sense. 100%.
He's the birth of mumble rap, as you know it. You understand what I'm saying? But then mumble rap and drill music are also a reflection of the world that we're living in right now.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why people are angry.
As
much as it's pushed, it's still pushed. That's the negative thing. Is like, okay, these guys are marketing it to keep, a certain, obviously the prison system here. It's like when they spoke about in America, the prison system being privately owned and all these things. You get a certain amount of labor force from, I think even now when people in jail in the UK and they come out on day release, what's the other thing? Anyway, you can work. A lot of you can get jobs outside. They take, I think, 60% of your wages and give you 40% of those wages.
I did not know that.
You understand what I'm saying? That's modern day slave labor. But literally, it was always the same. We've been given the illusion of freedom. We've never been free.
100%.
It's all 100%. Relative, and that's what I'm saying. It's all about your mind frame, how you look, how you perceive things to be. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You're like, okay, no, my freedom's been. No, we were never free. The moment we pay taxes on everything we purchase, we're never free.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
There's no choice.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
once you have to work to pay rent.
Yeah, you got to work to pay rent.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? You got to have, to have basic things. You got to make money. We're never free. We've never been free.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
and sticking on that in terms of being enslaved, I think that is very intertwined as well with what we worship. Because I don't know if you might agree, you might not agree, but I think everyone worships something. Do you get it? So, consciously or subconsciously, even if you're not worshipping a higher being or something, you're worshipping your desires. Do you get it? And worship is something that essentially, I would say, drives your emotions and your behavior. Do you get it? So if something makes you happy every day, so you do it. So you're worshipping that to an extent. So if you're not worshipping a being or an entity, whatever, you're worshipping either something in terms of a desire or a society or a construct or something, and then that in turn enslaves you. Do you get it? So in today's age, people worship money. Do you get it? Not by choice as well, but through that enslavement, we're stuck in this, I would say a gridlock of you have to live for money. Do you get it? So you're enslaved for money. So you're kind of stuck in this circle loop, which you can break out of again in the mindset. But unless you don't, do you get it? If you're going forwards all the time, you're stuck in this conception of I live for money, I live for money, I live for money. Do you get it? And I think coming from like a background where now you have to work certain jobs that take your time and take a lot of your time for a small incentive, it is a trap. Do you get it? And it can become a mental trap, which is why I think, which a lot of inspiration, which kind of drove my inspiration to do this, because it kind of came down to when I kind of had that click that we spoke about in terms of I know who I am and I need to get there. I feel like people now need to like get there themselves. You get it, and feel how I feel, because I feel like once you have that click of, okay, I don't care no more. Do you get it? Like, I know who I am. I've understood myself. You're free. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think once you get there, it becomes almost like you spoke about it in terms of you're not working. Do you get it? You're just like, it feels natural to you to be who you are. Do you get it? And before that, you're stuck in the conformity stage of, everyone does this, so it might be weird if I do this. Do you get? Does that make sense?
It's all relative though. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, what time is it? I don't even know what time it is.
11:05.
11:05. All right, cool. You have a mindset where you're like, all right, 9 to 5, and then you're rushing home to, you're rushing to a social place. No, I've got to leave now because it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's always time to do things. It's how you choose to spend your time. You understand what I'm saying? So if you've got to sweep the roads, if you've got clean houses, whatever you got to do, you know what I'm saying, and you don't see that as something that you enjoy necessarily, but you kind of have to do it to make a little bit of money or whatever. It's how you use your time around that. 100%. Because you could be a road sweeper that enjoys sweeping the road and be the best road sweeper. And as a byproduct of that, you end up just by chance, other people are like, oh my God, I need you to consult all of the road sweepers in London and in the world, because you enjoy doing it.
Sweeping,
you're so good at doing that particular thing. You enjoy the motion, and life is a Tai Chi. Everything is about the minute, fine details of things. You know what I mean? And I think that's when you go to the East, that's what you see. When you see people making all these crazy, like they build, like there's bricks for stone or whatever, and you look how they're created with these weird little details and designs and small things, and slowly there's a film called Jiro, which is about a sushi chef in Japan.
You mentioned this.
And like his whole thing is all about attention to detail. So it's doing one particular thing. What
was it? The thing he done for a long period of time?
I think there's like, when you start there, you massage the octopus for like 15 years or something. Just do that one job. You know what I mean?
But what does that do? What's
it's all relative. What is the difference between massaging an octopus and, I don't know, like it's all, you know what I'm saying? Look, you know what I'm saying? When you break things down, it's like, you look at things objectively. What's the difference between massaging an octopus and hitting a ball with a wooden bat?
It's just literally a process.
It's
a process.
Or kicking a ball with your foot.
It's a process, but we give it what it is. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, according to ontology, you get it. You give it that like metaphysical reality of he's massaging an octopus or he's kicking a ball, but it's just an action that we master over time. Whatever.
Yeah. What is it? You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking a ball. It's football. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing a ball through a net with a metal hoop.
But everyone's getting so mad about it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so intense.
Look at what's the difference between that and massaging an octopus? There's no difference.
Told them why though?
It's just perspective. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, those actions. You know what I'm saying? And I think so long as we identify ourselves based upon these titles, it's patronizing, man. Like I said, I go back to that thing of, all right, you got a gold medal. It's like all these people complaining, okay, why don't the Grammys take into consideration blah blah blah? Why do you care?
Why don't they be in their category anyway?
Man.
Why are you giving them
They
power?
obviously don't care about you anyway, otherwise they would put you, they would, I suppose. But then even who cares?
But even if they listen,
accreditation, who cares?
Even if they did listen to them complaints, they're not doing it off their own backs. They're doing it due to the fact that you complain.
But then why do you even care what they? That's how they are. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what they represent. That's ultimately it's who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, that you can do things, you can make certain actions to appease people, but know in the back of your mind that's a passive aggressive move. To you know what I'm saying, keep people in control, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it might be.
Keep it in check. I get it.
Why do you care? Like, why are you seeking validation from other people?
That's literally what I was gonna say. It's that illusion that inclusion is validation. Do you get it? And I think we're stuck in that now, where it's like we celebrate them small categories. Do you get it? Why don't we just create our own award system or create this? Do you get it?
But I got a number one.
Yeah, you get it in your thing. Thank you. Like it's like it's just.
What does it mean to have a number one? Oh my God, I've got a number. Look, it's madness. When you break it down, it's madness. And this is what I'm saying. You are number one. You know what I'm saying? The moment the most difficult race of your life started before you were even here. And before that, Lord knows what happened before that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You're some little thing swimming with, what was it, like 10 million? Like, you're just
trying to get to the straight in place.
You know what I'm saying? Riding. Whatever you know what I'm saying? You got some nitro, whatever it is you did. You know what I'm saying? That swim, you know what I'm saying? That difficult thing. Because, you know, people talk about this whole thing of like the sperm swimming to the egg or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember. I remember watching something. It's not as simple as it just like swimming in a streamline. I think the egg gets lodged somewhere, and then I think the environment it's difficult. Like, it's a difficult environment, man. It's not easy, man.
Yeah.
Like that little whatever.
Weird little videos that kind of show it like on a microscopic level, and
it's like it's
like
carnage, man.
It's not harmony, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine you're in a war, like you're like 10 million billion deep, yeah, and everybody's dead, and you make it, you're like, everybody died.
Yeah,
you are number one. This is the thing. Why do you need to get a number one to know that you are number one? This is my whole, like, it's like you got to go back to who you are. That's who you are. That's your point of reference. Doesn't matter what somebody tells you, you know.
You gotta believe that from within.
You gotta believe it from within.
100, bro.
You understand? And that's all it is. That's life. You know.
That's I think a beautiful way to put it. And looking at timing, I think a beautiful way to round it up, because honestly, bro, I could be here reasoning like we did it before we even did the OSU reasoning for time. Do you get it? So, like, I don't know if you even let them. It's just we could do this for hours. Do you get it? So just because they will kick us out of the building, eventually that's something life ain't that good yet. You know what I mean?
On a professional note.
The system again. It's something that's you know what I'm trying to say. But to round it up is, I guess, it's as simple as possible. I just want to again thank you for coming on.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for dropping the gems. Thank you for educating everyone.
I know Henry has patterned you with all your credentials on the live stream, and so everyone can find you on there.
Cool. Yeah, the visuals are going to be serious. Don't worry, Henry over there, bro. He's a wizard with this.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so there's gonna be a visual thing.
Yeah.
So right now it's a live stream. So we live stream the whole thing.
Yeah.
Already, and then we're just gonna drop it, share it, fix a little few things, and then it's gonna be out there for the world to see.
Oh, okay. We're gonna put it on like YouTube or put it on.
So right now it's on Facebook. I think it's to collate all the files, and then they're gonna drop on YouTube together as a series.
Okay, yeah.
So
Dope.
that will come, yeah, man. Hopefully, like, you get like I said, hopefully the start of like a lot of things. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. At bare times, I was like, I've seen you on a Sunday. Like, yeah, I'm in Shoreditch and that, yeah. And then you know the ones when it's just like, it's gonna get dark soon, you know. If I get up, like, I don't know, so I'm like, and now as well, what put me off, bro? I saw the queues in there, and I was like, I don't know if I can come, but hopefully you'll see me soon on a Sunday. Do you get it? Hopefully in Shoreditch somewhere, grabbing some grub. I'd recommend everybody to do the same. Just to give them the locations for the weekends. So Saturday is on, I can't remember the street.
Simple. Sclater Street is next to Shoreditch High Street Station.
Yeah.
That's on Saturdays. And we're there from 11:30 to 4:30.
Cool.
And then on Sunday we're on Brick Lane. On Brick Lane itself, just underneath, there's like a railway bridge there.
Yeah, I know.
So like if you're walking up towards the bagel shop, kind of more towards that kind of end of Brick Lane.
Okay, cool.
But if you're in the area and in down, just ask anybody for the coconut, man.
I know.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, it's the coconut guy.
No, I respect it, man. But on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. Taj, any last words before I lock off the whole thing?
I know it's been good. Like, I know it's going to be good because we've had if you haven't seen it, go check it out on his Instagram page. OSU Community Kitchen, where he brings people on. He brings on anyone, actually.
How did you spell health? What did you say it was? It's a what alternative? What did you say it was? I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, I don't even remember. Anyway, as I was saying,
look at just pros on Twitter. Apparently, it's a healthily alternative.
Okay.
Sorry, bro, I had to hold you up. I'm sorry.
So who cares? What's that word anyway? Okay. You know what I'm saying? What is the English language?
Exactly.
If you want to call it healthily, it's healthily.
Thank you, big man. So
on that note, look into a healthily alternative education from here at OSU Coconuts. Me, myself, Moncef.
And me, Taj.
It was lovely to have you. And yeah, man, take care, stay safe. We're out.